They say it's not rocket science. Well, this is the real thing.
Welcome to the Rocket Science Podcast. Well, hi, Jack. How's life treating you lately?
Oh yeah. Hey Jasmine. Life's good. But I had a random thought today. Like, how on earth did people survive house chores before robots? No vacuum bots, no smartwashers, just pure muscles and motivation. Respect, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, I asked myself the same thing. Like, either people had superhuman energy or they just didn't have a choice. But that thought actually opens up a bigger question. How much technology, especially AI and robots, has reshaped the way we live today?
Well, that's exactly what we're going to discuss today. The potential of AI.
Oh, here we go again. Buckle up, everyone. The Messiah has launched. Watch out.
So first, I'd like to start with a question.
Yeah, sure. I'm happy to answer.
If I ask you personally, what's one AI tool you actually use in daily life, not just talk about?
Well, there are not much tool that I use because I believe most people now they use AI tool like Gemini, ChatGPT, or Grok. So my main tool that I use daily would be ChatGPT because I have to work in translation things and also researching in work. So I usually use ChatGPT as my main tool, because it's very useful and it's very save time and way faster to find something that you're really in need. Yeah, I think my daily basic genre use is a bit not much wider. It's just around the corner of these AI. So I don't have much tools that I use in AI world. Yeah.
Well, speaking of translation, I think some AI may be kind of messed up with the language in translation. What do you think about that?
Yeah, of course, definitely. I've been there, and sometimes you have to give exact instructions to them so that you get exact answers that you would like to have. For example, if you want to generate photos, then you need to give specific instructions to them. Even if you gave that instructions, sometimes AI messed up. Sometimes it's really annoying, but eventually you start getting along with it, and AI is like training AI and shaping AI how you want the things work out, and then eventually it will start work with you. Especially I have this experience of translation. Sometimes when I have to switch the language to Burmese to English, there is a bit glitch between them because AI don't quite understand what the tone and what the language is. So sometimes it's a bit quite difficult to explain, to switch language. That's one of the most difficulty that I'm facing at work.
Well, yeah, maybe that's because AI is not developed well enough to understand our Burmese language. Burmese language is a complex language. I don't think many of translation models in the world right now are quite familiar with the Burmese terms. Because it's not widely used as well, and it's only used in Myanmar, obviously. So they don't usually prioritize in developing our language. So that's why maybe have some kind of barriers.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I think. Okay, so how about you? Do you have any specific tool that you usually use in daily life?
Yeah, probably. I definitely use AI a lot in my thing. As a graphic designer myself, when I create a design or a graphic, I usually use AI a lot, because it can help me create a certain elements or a certain photo or background, stuff like that. Same thing like as you mentioned before, I gotta give the exact instruction, exact prompt to get what I need. In these models, AI has been becoming really more and more intelligent, obviously. So it's getting a little bit much easier than maybe the last year. Last year, I used AI since it's been out. So I've seen the first model. The first model is great, but is definitely glitchy and definitely not getting what you want exactly. And right now, it's getting very much improved. For me, as my perspective, I look in color grading. I look at in the position of these elements, the position of the background being placed. So for me, as my perspective it's quite improving, but you got to give the specific prompt. Probably sometimes it's got to be really long prompt. Actually understand what you want. Maybe most of the time I can't get it in the first go. First, I gotta let him do the small thing first, and then we gotta add certain things, a little bit things on top, like maybe putting cherry on top, stuff like that. The guy go like baby step by step, going to through with the AI. I can't talk to the AI the whole process, and it comes out exactly what I want. I can't do that. maybe in the future, maybe we could let AI do what we exactly do in just first go, in one go. So,
Yeah, that sounds amazing. I just got the ideas like why you're talking about giving prompt and instructions step by step. I just wondering, have you ever put like sorry or can you please do this? This kind of stuff. Have you ever put those kind of stuff while you're giving instruction? Because for me, I have this habit of like giving too much politeness from my heart because AI has also feelings. I don't know, maybe AI doesn't have feelings, but also like it's very important for me to say politely. So I usually add, could you please do this? Please. And and then after it gives me what I want, I just say like, okay, thank you. So just wondering, have you ever done that before?
I think for you, I think it's like not because of you being just polite. I think you're scared that if the AI comes to life, it will kill you because you're not being polite, right?
No, no, I'm not scared of AI. I mean, it's like most people think that AI is kind of a dangerous thing or some kind of a monster. It will take over the world, those kind of big stuff. But I also have my own concerning, but I'm not that afraid of AI because I believe that the real danger isn't AI because it's people who don't understand it but still use it. So that's my perspective. If you're using AI, you should be able to know what you are using and what you are developing. So yeah, I think you should be smart enough if you're going to use AI.
Well, definitely, that's a good perspective to speak about. For me, I don't usually talk to AI in a very polite manner. I just talk like normal, I just talk like, sometimes I'm commanding AI sometimes, maybe, do this stuff for me. I want to change this part. No, this is not what I want, bro. Just do this stuff. Like, for example, I let the AI do the photo of the spaghetti with the fork in the plate. But the AI messed up, dude, there's a freaking chopstick beside it. I said, no, I don't want chopstick. I told you to do with a fork. Remove the chopstick and put the fork in there. After a couple of trying AI and give me the one I want. It's like, I think you gotta let them know who's the boss is.
Yeah, you're a bit mean and a bit rude. You sounds like that. I mean, AI are like, they're learning and I think they're like baby. I don't know, but I feel like that they're cute and they treat you politely. Even if you're rude or if you're mean, they don't care about that. Okay, do you use like Gemini or ChatGPT while you are drawing your graphic designs? Which two you usually use?
Well, yeah, in creating design, there's specific tools of the specific usage of which AI. And for example, in Gemini is really good at generating images with the Nano Banana. The version is absolutely amazing. It's a game changer. It's definitely a game changer. It's useful for many purposes. You can get high quality images, high quality elements in any style you want, in literally any style you can think of. You can create everything. But for ChatGPT, it's not as good as Gemini creating images, but it's good in fact and research. And you want like opinions, you want fresh perspective, like creative knowledge about something, you can count on ChatGPT. It's really good at this stuff. But Gemini is not as good as ChatGPT in information stuff, but it's mostly good in image creation. So I usually use Gemini mostly because I create a lot of images and elements to use in my design as well. So it's like, you got to know which AI is good for you, and that's how you have developed the AI as well. We all, the people in the whole world who are using AI are also helping to develop the AI at the same time. We're also using that and we're also making it developing because the AI are using the data to improve himself. How you say that? It's like in the program, AI only knows how you program to do. That's why you need to collect loads of data to actually get the specific single thing that you want. That's how the OpenAI source actually works behind the scenes. They collect like tons of data. It takes many years to develop. So as you mentioned before, it's like you gotta treat AI as a baby. Yeah, probably you need to treat AI as a baby because AI just literally, I think it's 4 years old. It's just a kid, but it actually know all the information all in the world right now.
Yeah, it's like a young children. It knows everything, but it is so young. Okay, so about the research thing, according to you, yeah, you're right. ChatGPT is really good resource to do research things, and but I think we are a bit too much reliant on these AIs and researching things. Back in the day, we do Google. We just go to Google and we search what we want to know. We have to go to these websites to find informations and these articles to be able to use in our research paper or in our assignments. But lately, we don't actually not going to Google anymore. We start using AI too much because it's faster and it's way easier to use. especially like in ChatGPT, if you want to know something and you just click it and it will give you so many relatable resources that you can reach out in a second. Well, at the same time, it's true that it's getting easier, but also we have to careful looking that are we really relying on AI too much, a bit too much? Like, are we getting dependent on AI? Because I'm not scared of AI, but I'm scared of how uncomfortable we are getting with it. To the generations, we are start losing, I feel like we are start losing our ability to work or to research, even to write down a single essay for students, of course. So that's a bit concerning for the future.
Well, maybe some of the students in our around the world, our environment, are using AI too much in using their assignment, doing their homework. Yeah, for your concerns, yeah, it's definitely a valid concern. The kids are using AI to take advantages of doing the assignment. They don't actually understand the lecture. They don't actually understand the lesson. They don't study. They just get help. The AI is done just in a couple seconds. That's why in many countries, while they're doing their homework, they ban AI in school. For example, in China, China is a very extremely strict country when it comes to education. That's why the Chinese people are really smart too. Usually in math, extremely nerdy people. You know, the system lets them do that, but sometimes in a way that it's not very good to only focus on lectures all the time. And for them, maybe at some point it's good not to use AI in some cases. Like in this studying cases, AI can get you information really fast. Sometimes you don't want to learn no more. You get lazy. You know the AI will do for you, so you don't learn anymore. Just sit in the corner in the classroom with just looking at the teacher or maybe gaslighting at the same time. And eventually, you know the AI will do your job. So the use can be in the cap of laziness in using AI without actual development.
Yeah, that's what I'm concerned about as well, because AI is a very useful tool. But if we are misusing this AI tool, then we might lose our ability, like eventually, because when we do, let's say we have to write a single assignment, an essay, and like some student, like you said, they don't really care about it anymore. They just type it and they just give some instructions and AI will give you the long paragraph and it's already done for within a second. I think in China, like according to you, it's really strict, you know, in education. I feel bad for them because, I mean, can you imagine like we are living in AI technology war and they ban AI? I mean, that's a bit too harsh for them. If we look from the bright side, it is kind of protecting your ability and it is training you to control how to control AI and smart enough not to override your ability. Yeah, I think we really need to focus on AI and how these youth are connecting in the future. So that might be a big concern and we need to address these issues as well.
Yeah, speaking of the usage of AI, it's like it's also related with a lot of movies we watch. In many movies about AI and stuff like in technology, that AI can turn into a robot and then it becomes conscious and then it's take over the whole world. But in real life, that thing is actually very less likely chance to happen like that. So many people think that AI is scary, it's dangerous, it will take over the world someday, or it will like enslave the humans. I'm probably like that.
Yeah, like a robot, if you watch Avengers, in the Age of Ultron, there is this Ultra robot, you know, it comes alive and it starts attacking people. If you watch too much movie of those kind of things, then you might think that AI is a dangerous thing and it will take over the world. But right now, it's really less likely to happen like that because AI doesn't have emotions like humans. So that's not a big deal to concern about. I'm wondering, you know, I have these questions popped up. Do you think like is AI more of a tool that amplifies human intelligence or is it slowly replacing it?
And according to human intelligence, that's quite impressive, but AI sometimes is slightly terrifying. Maybe sometimes it reduces or limits a human's intelligence, a human's creativity and thinking. It limits that because it got a lot of information all over the world. It got tons of data, so most of the answers that we are going to ask, mostly, yeah. But in terms of creativity, the AI doesn't have that much creativity as human, but they do have. But the creativity of AI is based on the data, based on what people actually have done before. But our creativity in our mind self is something that we create that doesn't exist before, that doesn't have been created before. We create something actually completely new something. But AI cannot create something that is completely new like our human minds can do. I don't think AI will replace our human intelligence. We got to take advantage of AI and how to use it so we can get our jobs done. Main purpose of AI is to assist human. It depends on what we use and how we use, who's going to use the AI, which kind of AI like that. we have to be smart enough to let the AI do our job easily and fast, not taking over the whole job. AI cannot do our whole job yet. I say yet. But we're not talking about replacing job in the next episode. But for the meantime, like for our daily simple jobs, AI cannot do those yet. So we gotta take advantage of AI by like asking something related that can maybe it's asking shortcuts that is actually efficient shortcuts, obviously. I don't think it will replace the human intelligence or creativity. It actually amplifies it. It actually level up our brain level, probably. Encourages us to learn more, to think outside the box in many cases.
Yeah, interesting. People usually use these robots in their house to do their house chores. That's very helpful because nowadays, most people, affordable people, of course, if they can afford to buy robot. And so these people hire these robots as their mate to do their house chores and to assist their children in learning. Till now, it's really helpful, and because robots are just a program and they're not that dangerous enough anymore. But at the same time, I think there will be more unemployment people, and the percentage of unemployment people will eventually increase in the future because that's how I'm feeling. As long as this AI is developing, and then we need more people who can actually work out and who can actually find another job that is efficient enough to work with AI. If not, then I'm very concerned about the workers and basic workers. They might lose their jobs. So, yeah. But according to you, that's AI is amplifying human intelligence, and I'm agree with you on that.
There's the latest AI robot update that is a humanoid robot that looks really like a human. It can work like a human. They can do chores. Like it's a product that we can actually buy, but it's not complete yet. It's not a full version yet. It can do many chores like in maybe cleaning, cooking, not cooking a lot of things, only like specific thing. You need to give specific instruction to cook this single thing. But it's good at cleaning and it's good in keeping the house tidy and stuff like that. It still definitely needs a lot to improve. The start of AI, we can say like the AI actually come to life as a robot. Robots can be really helpful to us. I think it's like another era have to change, and we as a human have to change to another era to let ourselves into the next level. In the past, we already have the Industrial Revolution. Before Industrial Revolution, we used human resource a lot of time in farming, mostly in farming. At that time, mostly farming is a very significant jobs areas. After the Industrial Revolution hit, there are many farmers that literally lost their job because of it's been replaced by the machines. Obviously, machines are more efficient and more faster to do in productivity and have the good quality as well. So it has been replaced, yes, but maybe reduce the number of the workers that are actually working behind the scenes. But at the same time, it also encouraging the workers to move to another era of industrial revolution. The big machines comes up. The way we think about our daily activities has been changed a lot. Our lifestyle has been changed completely before Industrial Revolution and after Industrial Revolution. It's a very necessary thing for our human to happen. We as a human, we have to develop every single time. We can't stuck one place all the time. We got to develop. So the people also have to develop. The people who stay in the past will left behind. Sometimes we can save them, but sometimes we can't. If they want to left behind, it's their choice, They got to learn and keep up with the technology world. For our previous one, industrial world, they got use of today's age and get themselves something that is useful in the world. So right now, it's the technology era. You have to shift from industrial revolution to technological revolution, which involve AI. Obviously, the AI is definitely way more faster, way more productivity than the industrial revolution. There are many people definitely who lost their job because of AI, yes. For example, like in the waiters, they use robots in receptionists as well, in hotels, in the taxi drivers. And Tesla latest model of self-driving car is actually very good. It's very efficient, so it can take over the taxi driver job sometimes. Yeah, it will, but at the same time, it also encourage people to shift their job, to shift the way of their lifetime to another upgraded version. They gotta shift because the world is changing and evolving all the time. So we can't just stuck on a single place all the time. We can't drive the taxi for your whole life. Maybe in the past, yes, you might can. But in this era, the changing is in the split second. It just happened many things. You gotta keep up with everything. So you can't stuck in one thing all the time. So you gotta keep up with the technology world. You gotta keep up with this technological revolution. So on the other hand, the people will see that AI is replacing our jobs. But meanwhile, the AI let us create some jobs that doesn't exist before. For example, in website management, like in UI UX designer and graphic designer or something, or maybe like genetic counselor, stuff like that. Those jobs doesn't exist before technological revolution. It exists because of technological revolution. So it's necessary. It's not that the AI will take over all the job at once. No, the AI cannot do our jobs. AI will assist our job in making productivity and quality as well. We got to take advantage and get use of AI to keep up with the technology in today's world. We can always blame on people on the AI because it's replacing our job. It's also creating a lot of tons of jobs, tons of new jobs and new areas. So we got to step into those areas. We got to learn more.
Yeah. So according to you, which means like, AI creates more jobs and you have to keep up with those jobs. So I think that might take a bit time for the people in middle class people or basic people. They need some time to catch up with these new jobs that comes up based on you, which means like you have to wipe out the half of the population who are a bit old-fashioned and who are outdated and who are not going to be developed. You have to leave them behind, and the humanity will keep developing. It's like evolution. Next step, bigger things. Humans have to evolve alongside with technology. So yeah, that sounds cool, but you will never know what the futures hold. You're not sure even like what yesterday's hold. So technology has a good potential, and also there are like its bad side, and you need to just aware of that. Yeah, I have one more question. Okay. So what is like one thing people should be excited about, and one thing they should be careful about when it comes to AI? You have already mentioned a lot of stuff, but I believe that you need to mention a bit more what they have to be careful and what kind of tips that they need to follow to catch up with AI and these things to be balanced in their life. So what do you say?
Yeah, AI is a fascinating tool. It's fascinating for our daily life to assist in our daily life. So it creates a lot of products, not projects. A lot of products that are actually helpful in many life. For example, I really like the self-driving car. I love driving too. I like driving. But sometimes you don't always want to drive. For example, if you want to go really long journey, it's very exhausting for you only to drive the whole way. The whole day, you can't drive the whole day. Sometimes it's exhausting. You got to rest for a while. So for a self-driving car, it's definitely a very efficient. You can let the AI drive for you. You only need to check up a little bit. That's it. You don't need to do much things in driving. Yeah, for the question that it is safe, we should be careful about that. Well, self-driving cars, since after it's released, I think it's 2 years back, since after that, there has not been a single accident in humans, stuff like that. It has not been a single accident happen like that from the AI robot in self-driving car. So the way they create the AI in car is they program every single thing that might happen, every possibility that might happen in while driving. Is predict every single move. And when the car is coming, they know they got to calculate which direction the car is going to go, which direction there's the people crossing the road, how far it's going, what's the speed of this. So should the car slow down, should the car speed up, like that. It calculates everything. So it's like, it's not perfect, but it's create almost perfect in a perfect way to create less accident ever happen. We can create the better form of like in driving cars,
Is it like a autopilot? Because I got these ideas of in airplane, you have this picture of like autopilot, and if you just press that button, then the plane will just stay in the air and just go in whatever direction that you have already set up. So I think it's kind of similar to autopilot and driverless taxi.
Well, maybe a little bit similar, but that is different is that in autopilot, in planes, you fly really high above the ground. There's literally nothing to hit. It's just clouds in there.
There are birds. You will accidentally hit. That could be a like potential danger, There's like, I've seen in the movies or news, I'm not sure about that, but there's like, they hit the birds on the clouds and the airplane, a big crash, got accident. So even though it's a minor issue, you have to be careful about it. The difference is that in driverless car, you don't need driver. You have this program already inserted in the car, so it will just lead you where you want to go. Autopilot in airplane, that you need a pilot to assist and to control everything, because pilots are known for what they have learned and what they have known, not how they can drive airplane. So I think that's the difference between autopilot and driverless car.
Yeah, autopilot doesn't have AI actually. Autopilot is just system that can run the engine consistently without reducing or without speeding up anything. It just go in this constant speed, constant velocity, constant acceleration like that. But in autopilot in cars, in self-driving cars, it's way more complex because you gotta calculate every single thing that might happen on the road. literally many things on the road: cars, cycles, humans, animals, many stuff you gotta consider, and there are many routes you can go away. If you want to go from point A to point B, there are many ways to go, not just one way. But in an airplane in the sky, it's just literally straight up one way. You don't need to calculate anything, so you don't need AI autopilot. But in the future, if AI is gonna be involved in pilot in planes, it will be really huge. But I don't think that's gonna be very soon. It's gonna take a while to get AI on the pilots.
Yeah, it's also gonna take a big risk. It will be a bit risky, I guess, because you're flying over 2,000 feet. So it's so high. Okay, so we have discussed a lot of AI stuff and things. So let me just wrap up a bit. I just want to make sure that the audience, they got the message. So do you have some kind of message that you want to give to young people growing up with AI? So what would it be?
Oh, first of all, don't scare of AI. AI is not scary, actually. AI is a helpful assistant. Think of it like that. AI is always helpful. You gotta take advantage of AI in completing your task. But actually, you gotta develop yourself too. You can't be just lazy, laying down, let the AI do everything you have to do. But no, you can't. You gotta develop yourself too. But you gotta learn how to use AI more efficiently, more properly. That's how you actually engage in today's world. Today's world, if you can't use AI, it's like you're outdated. There's a question about that AI had feelings. I don't think AI can have feelings. Feelings are something that's related to our mind, to our conscious mind. But AI cannot have feelings like that. They can only speak what they are programmed to. Even if they speak in a sad manner, they just programmed to do that. They don't actually feel this stuff inside their mind. They don't have mind. We're full of machines and programs and codings, and they're full of probably technology inside there. So they don't have feelings or conscious mind. So
yeah, they're way more polite than other people, human in reality.
Well, actually, because they are programmed to be polite.
Yeah.
You can make the AI to be rude as well. It depends on what program you give the AI.
Yeah, that's how you use it. I mean, which one is using this AI? And AI doesn't have feelings. Just imagine if AI had feelings, it would judge our search history because it is so messed up. Okay, now I'll just take back my feelings. I don't want it.
Nobody can see my search history. Maybe sometimes mostly about football. I like football. But it has a lot of stuff in there. But they cannot see my search history. It will go crazy, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, so we have discussed a lot of things and we have covered a lot of steps and a lot of topics in here. And one thing that I would like to add is according to this topic, AI, we're talking about, I think sometimes the future arrives before we are ready. So if you're not ready, you have to prepare for the future. So that's all for today's launch into the future. So thanks for thinking, questioning, and imagining with us. See you next Friday night because it is not rocket science. Oh, wait, it actually is.
Stay tuned for more exciting topics and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.